Just hit that first beat hard, man. You got to come in on beat. Cruising down the street. You cruising.
You good,
all right? It's dope, but on beat. Again, all right? Let's go. You cruising. Cruising down the street in my 6'4". That ain't it.
We talking straight out of Compton.
When I come back, boy, I'm coming straight out of Compton.
Oh my goodness, this movie was so good. Don't come for me, but this is the first time I have ever watched this movie. And honestly, it is because when it came out like 10 years ago, where I was living, I don't think it was in theaters. I don't think it was around me, so I never actually got the chance to see it. So watching it now, so if you have never seen this movie focuses on the musical group NWA. And I'm not going to say what it stands for, but if you know, you know. But for me, this movie, it focuses on the group, but honestly, it focused on only 3 of the members. So we got Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, and Eazy-E. They're like the 3 that this movie focused on. And the cool thing that I found out is that some of the members, Dr. Dre and Ice Cube, I believe actually assisted with this biopic. So that's kind of cool that they kind of played a part in telling their own story. And the thing that I thought was also really cool is, if you've seen the movie, you know. If you haven't, I'll tell you. But Ice Cube's son, I think it's O'Shea Jackson is his name. He actually played Ice Cube's character. And I don't know about y'all, but they look like twins. And so that was kind of cool in watching it, because it felt like you were legit watching Ice Cube in this period of time, because he was like younger version of Ice Cube. And it was so cool. So I kind of like that, like just his mannerism, just how he looked, just how he sounded. I was like, ah! So it was kind of like we were actually seeing what happened in real life because of that element in itself. The only member I knew, I know, this is so bad, y'all, this is so bad. But the only member I knew that was in NWA was Ice Cube. I don't even think I knew Dr. Dre was in it. I know, that's so bad. So he was in it, and I did get to learn about Eazy-E, which I know the song, I know the NWA songs, but I didn't know who was singing what. So actually, Boys in the Hood, so you got to see Eazy-E, how I started this video, to me was hilarious. And so you got to see Eazy-E making his part for Boys in the Hood, and I thought that was funny. And just seeing his story and kind of what happened to him, because I honestly didn't know. So I was once I finished it, I was Googling is this actually what happened with Eazy-E? And then I was oh my goodness. So kind of seeing that he ended up passing away. And it was, I don't know if it was true that NWA was going to get back together and make some more songs now that I got rid of the guy that everyone had issues with. But yeah, it was honestly just so good seeing what life was in Compton was back then. And you saw a lot of the police issues, which honestly we still have today. And so kind of just seeing the fact that NWA was so determined to speak their truth and to talk about what's happening, no filter, be real, yo, this is what we're experiencing in Compton. And I really, really like that, because there was this whole plot when they were in Detroit, and the Detroit police came up to them and they're like, yo, we got these rules. We talked to the mayor. We got these rules of, if you guys are performing, you guys cannot perform. I don't cuss, so I can't say the name of the song. It's basically the police. So they were not allowed to perform that. And they were like, if riots happen, you'll get arrested. So they were basically threatening them. And Ice Cube, Dr. Dre, Eazy-E were we ain't going down with that. We stand on our truth. We are talking about what happened to us. That way it can be better in the future. And so they performed it. They ended up getting arrested. To me, it just kind of shows the level that they went to get the truth out there. And that's kind of a big theme, I think, in watching these movies this month, is so many of these Black musicians, especially in the past at their time, they stood on their truth. And I think that's important. And I think that's honestly just a lesson, stand on your truth. And so honestly, this movie was so good. Just kind of seeing more in depth into their life. You kind of saw the breakup and them all coming together at the end, and just kind of the growth. And then this is also, I already mentioned in a previous video how I love movies that at the end you kind of get oh, this is what happened to so-and-so. And so we kind of got that, and it kind of showed what each person kind of went and did, focusing on the main 3, Eazy-E, Ice Cube, and Dr. Dre. But Eazy-E, of course, ends up dying, while everyone else from NWA is currently still alive. And I just also think it's kind of cool, because I know Ice Cube had a big part in kind of more some music and also movies that I loved when I was growing up. And so just kind of seeing more about his journey, and kind of you kind of got to see the person he is. There's this whole scene where he goes and he busts up the president of this label, he busts up his office, because he's you're not giving me my money. You told me you were going to give me my money, that I made this hit song, and you're not giving it to me. So he went and busted up. Went down the rabbit hole, of course, and they were that actually happened. And then he got his $100,000 because he did that. I was what? And then of course Dr. Dre, I feel like he's kind of just always been there, and he had so many like songs, and he's helped so many like rappers too just kind of get to where they are. Like if you listen to people's interviews, they're like all because of Dr. Dre. And so you kind of get to see that in the movie. You had Snoop Dogg character who was in that, which I will say I always butcher the actor's name. I really do. I'm not gonna even try it. Like, he in my opinion killed it. Like I don't think he looked like Snoop, but when he was talking, he had Snoop's like how he talked down. Like he did so good in the talking part. And so you had Snoop pop up, you had Tupac pop up that Dr. Dre helped out with, and then like later on you saw like 50, you saw Eminem, like you saw all these rappers giving credit to Dr. Dre because Kendrick Lamar popped up, like just because he's done so much. And I think that was kind of cool, like just kind of getting their moment, like oh my goodness, he was involved in all this stuff, because I feel like a lot of time you forget about Dr. Dre, and he has his hand in so many different things, and like beats Dr. Dre, like he's just in so much. So I just think giving homage in this movie was really, really cool, and kind of seeing where they started off to where they are currently is always so cool. And I think it's just really inspiring. Like I get happy when why do I feel like I'm tearing up a little, but I get really excited when people get to do something they want and they succeed at it, because I'm kind of everyone's biggest supporter. I really am. Just like yes, like when something good happens, yes, like that's because that's what we all need. And yeah, so this movie, if you have not seen Straight Outta Compton, you should watch it. Like I thoroughly enjoyed it. The soundtrack was bomb. There were like all these OG songs, like other people's songs. I was like, oh my goodness. And then you kind of had like the whole Suge Knight, and I kind of went down the rabbit hole with him too. But he's in this movie, so you kind of get to see like, ooh, yeah. I'm not saying too much about that. But yeah, so let me know in the comments if you've seen this movie, what you think. But this was my first time, and I honestly really enjoyed it. And I was like, oh my goodness, I did not know this movie was so good. So kudos to everyone that had their hand in it. And I appreciated learning a little bit more about the group NWA.
This has been another episode of Real Talk with Noel.